Hello guys, my name is Vasilije Aleksic and this is From Zero to Hero program. In this tutorial we'll be learning how to create a simple animation in Photoshop. I advise you to look some basic stuff about Photoshop before this tutorial. This is not that much advanced, but it's not that simple. So we can begin. First we'll open Photoshop and create new. Go to File, New file. We'll name it Simple Animation. The size here is not that much important. We'll use 1080 pixels, not millimeters. Okay, for sake of this tutorial it isn't that much important. Okay, we'll create it. Okay, here we are. I'll be making an animation out of Esteem LG Belgrade logo. Just a moment to find it. Esteem logo, Esteem dark green. Okay, just click on it, or whatever image you want to create animation from. Okay, here it is. Just drag it to the tab where I want to use it. Okay, now I'll press Ctrl+T to resize it because it's too big. I'm holding Alt and Shift to scale it proportionally. Let's say like this. Okay. Now press Enter when you're done scaling it, and I want to center it. Okay, I'll press Ctrl+A and it will select the whole canvas, and I'll just go to Move tool and click on the up here to center it vertically and horizontally. Okay, now we can go to any select tool, right click and deselect. Okay, I want to create a simple animation out of this logo. So I'll go up here to Window, and way down you'll find a timeline. Click on it, and here you have two options: create frame animation and video animation. I'll use video animation. Then click create video animation. Okay, here we are. I'm zooming out using Alt plus scrolling up and down for zooming in and out. And yeah, of course, what this can be used for, you can use these animations for your PR promotions, for example, on Instagram. Okay, here we have a timeline. Default is 5 seconds, as you can see here. 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. I won't be using more than that, but if you want to, you can just drag the one end and expand it as much as you want. It will snap to the round amount of seconds. For example, you see here it snapped on 6th, or snap on 5. I want to use 5, so we'll work here. Okay, if the interface is too small or too big, you can see down here that there are two mountains, small one and big one. I'm not sure if these are mountains, but they look like it. And you can move this indicator here and scale it up and down. Move it to the left to scale it down. Okay, this will be enough. So I have two layers on the right, as you can see, and I have two layers here. So first thing you need to do is go right click on the layer you want to animate and click Convert to Smart Object. Because you cannot create animations without smart objects. Now I'll disable the white layer here, and we have a Steam logo with transparent background. Now I'll go to this arrow here and click on it, and it will show me some options here. Now I want, for example, to create animation where a Steam logo will come from left, go to center, fade away, fade back to full color, and go right. A very simple animation. So, first thing, you need to create keyframes. How do you do that? You have three types of keyframes. For example, we'll use transform and opacity because they're the most simple ones. And you position this blue indicator to the part of animation where you want to create your keyframe. What is actually a keyframe? It's the position of or the look of the object at a certain time, simply put. Okay, at the beginning I want a Steam logo to be on the left, outside of the screen. So I'll use Move tool, and I can click, hold Shift, just to move it on the line, and move it out of the canvas. Now, I'll click on this stopwatch to create a first keyframe. Now, I want when after 2 seconds, let's say here, move it and create a second keyframe, and just click it over here. Now, I want to go to Move tool, and again, just select the layer and move a Steam logo or whatever you're using to want to animate, and move it to center. Again, click and hold Shift to do that. Now we have a Steam logo in the middle. I want it to stay there for, let's say, 1 second. I'll move this indicator here, and I'll create another keyframe. And now, as you can see, when I move this, it won't move between these 2 points, between these 2 keyframes, but when I move it here, it moves with it. So this keyframe shows that a logo is here, and this keyframe is showing that logo is here. The Photoshop will automatically calculate where logo should be at, for example, 1 second of the video. So it should be here. Now when you create it on the second, it stays in the middle. I want it to stay there for 1 second. And I created the third keyframe actually, just to make sure that it stays here. Now, at the end, I will just move this here. I want to create another keyframe, and I want to move the logo to the right. Again, hold Shift and click to move it to the right. Okay, to go away from the screen. Now we can play this animation. Comes here, stays, and goes away. It may, even if it's 5 seconds, it may take longer in Photoshop to pass because it needs to load, but when you export it at the end, it will be exactly 5 seconds. So see it again. Okay, that's it. Now I want to add another effect, which is opacity, or actually opacity, you know what opacity is, amount of transparency. Maybe that would be a good explanation for that. I want it to fade away when it stops in the middle, and I want it to fade back when it starts going away. So first I'll create a keyframe here, click on the stopwatch, and now I want here to decrease the opacity at the second of the animation. So go on the right, you see opacity, it's on 100%. I want it to go to 0. Okay, and I want it to go on 3rd second, I want it to go back on the 100%. So I'll create another keyframe here and I'll move it back to 100%. So as you can see here, it's invisible all the way before this keyframe. Why? Because it will make it as it is in first keyframe all the way from the beginning to the first keyframe. So what we want to do, we can move this keyframe to the middle, let's say 2.5 seconds here, and we'll create another keyframe where this one was previously. Click on it and we'll again create opacity of move opacity to 100%. So what's happening here? From the beginning, from here to the second second of the animation, it will be at 100%. Why? Because the first keyframe is at 100%. And then again it will start to fade until it reaches the keyframe which is 0% opacity. Then when it continues, it will again come back until it reaches this keyframe, and it will become 100% visible again. So we combined here opacity and transform animation. Now we can play it to see how it looks. Stops, fades, comes back, goes away. That's really simple animation. You can do this with any image, object, either if it was, it doesn't matter if it's a pixelated object or vector. You can do with whatever you want, as long as you first create it, make it smart object. Okay, now we want to save this animation. First thing, click on save or press Ctrl+S to save this Photoshop file. Then go to export. If you want to save it as MP4 file, click on render video, but now I'm going to save it as GIF or GIF, so click on save for web legacy. Here you'll get this pop-up window where we'll see some options on how to save our animation. Give it a few seconds to load. You'll see this blue bar filling down here, just wait for it. Okay, now up here where it says preset, you have different type of presets. I won't get into this, but much into this, but this is the best quality of GIF and this is the worst one. I'll use the middle one, for example. Now leave transparency and don't mess with other options. Now click on save. Now choose folder where you want to save it. I'll save it on desktop. Choose HTML and images so you can open it in your browser and in your with your computer PC app. Name it as you want. Okay, I want to save it here. Click on save. Give it a few seconds to save. Okay, it's saved. Now we'll go to desktop. Okay, we see it here, animation.html. It may save a few other types of files along with it, but you don't worry about it, you can delete them. Here I'll open it in Google Chrome, and here it is. We can see it's coming in. We'll zoom out or scroll down, actually, coming from the left. staying in the middle, disappearing, appearing, going to the right. Okay, now I want to show you one more quick thing. On this site you can upload your videos or GIFs, and you need to upload at least 5 of them, and when they get approved you can find them in GIF gallery in WhatsApp or on Instagram when you're searching for GIFs, and you can use them there. Okay, that would be it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new.